Now, as a result of Donald Trump's heightened tariff on Chinese goods, Apple is planning to shift more of its iPhone production to India. Now, the Wall Street Journal has reported this, and the tech giant is reportedly ramping up shipments of iPhones from India to the US as a short-term solution to the offset the rising costs imposed by China duties, while Apple attempts to win an exemption from President Trump's tariff. I'm now joined by CNN News 18's Pallavi Ghosh on this broadcast. Pallavi, it is of course a win situation as far as India is concerned, but as far as US-China relations are concerned, this is going to further strain it, and this is going to have a further effect on the market like we saw yesterday.
You're absolutely right, Shereen. I mean, Donald Trump has never been, he's always been open about the fact that he has scant regard as far as the Chinese politics or economics is concerned, and it's been marked by huge amount of strain between the two of them. Now, with this entire tariff issue, each passing day brings us with some more stories of where the confrontation is taking place. Now, 34% was the kind of tariff which was imposed on China. It goes up now to 50% is what Donald Trump is talking about. But, as we've been pointing out, and that is what the Indian government outlook is, that we have to look at this as an opportunity which we need to seize. And the best, of course, is in the case of Apple, where Apple manufacturers or many of their parts were manufactured in China. India had also begun to do so in Chennai, in many other parts as well. But now with this huge tariff being imposed, India becomes a more attractive market and provider, and that's exactly what we are now going to be looking at. So the information which is coming in is that now Apple is going to look at sourcing its products or its accessories from India itself.
Also, Pallavi, do you think that there is going to be a difference in the market when we are seeing that the Apple is in fact planning more production in India now? Could that actually have a positive impact on Indian market as well?
See, there was one worry which this whole tariff would give is that what's going to happen in terms of employment, because in terms of production generation, that is why many sectors like the automobile sector, certain section of agrarian sector, all of them are a little worried and apprehensive. Which is why, as we have been reporting, the government has been trying to and would be reaching out both to the corporate sector, the service sector, and as well as to the exporters. But as Piyush Goyal has been very open about the fact, this is a time when we have to seize the opportunity. You have to think about nationalism. So there are two platforms. One, of course, is indigenous competition can be provided. For example, if you're going to talk about motorcycles or automobiles, what about Mahindras and Tatas? If they up their game, they have faced the competition and the consumers get a better product. And then, you opt for it. So that generates production, that also generates employment. Second is, for example, products like Apple, which are setting up their factories in India and overseas. If we are able to produce more, we are also getting to get more jobs offered. And employment generation means the cyclical pattern of demand and supply also gets a surge. And that is not going to be seen as advantage for India at a time when most of the countries are reeling under this tariff regime.
All right. Many thanks, Pallavi, for putting all those details into perspective. Now, moving on.